Before we get into your reading, I'd like to start by thanking everyone who has liked and commented on the videos, as well as subscribed and donated to my channel. I really appreciate it, you guys. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find all of my contact information, including my email and social media links, as well as links to my music and podcast in the description below this video. Okay, let's get into your reading. What do we have for Taurus? Oh, wow. Tower, Aries energy at the foundation. Two of Cups, Cancer energy at the sacral. This is so interesting, Taurus, because right before I began this reading, I was just meditating on your energy, waiting for downloads and messages to come through for you. And I just kept thinking about the astrology at the moment and how it's affecting you. And this speaks directly on the messages I was getting and the astrology. There's a lot of changes taking place in your personal relationships, whether it's longtime friends, family members, even relationships having to do with your career. But what I'm seeing here is a destruction of a lot of relationships in your life that don't serve your highest good. The Tower is the most destructive energy in the tarot. It represents a sudden change in regards to false securities in your life. It can be an energy of a wake-up call. So this is all in regards to these particular relationships in your life that you've been entertaining. I feel like you're starting to get little signs that are showing you just how truly unaligned you are with a lot of these people. You may be finding yourself having petty quarrels or some sort of miscommunication with some of these individuals, but it's an overall imbalance in your relationships. This Tower paired with this Two of Cups is wanting me to read this Two of Cups in its negative polarity, so in its detriment. And the reason why, as you can see here, there's two people falling out of this Tower, right? And they're perceivably upside down. So it's wanting me to turn this Two of Cups into its detriment to represent those two individuals here. So Two of Cups in reverse all has to do with what I was just saying. It is an energy that's lacking in harmony. It's also representing some sort of separation from these people in your life. Let's keep going. What do we have at the solar plexus? Wow. Five of Wands, Leo energy at the solar plexus. Further detailing everything we're picking up in this reading. Five of Wands energy is all about conflict. It's an energy of strife. I just feel that there's a lot coming to the surface right now, Taurus. It could even be things being unearthed from the past. If this is family dynamics, this could be stuff that you're really starting to think about from your childhood. And it would make sense with this Venus retrograde because this is what this is all about. We're going back and addressing things on this core level. And this is going on, I think Venus is in retrograde for another month or so. So I've been saying to the other zodiac signs, this is a time where your main focus needs to be on self-love. And what you'll find is a sense of embrace because of the astrology. Venus is your planet, Taurus. So now more than ever, there's this supportive energy. So you may find that areas of your life that you tried to give attention to and ended up putting on the back burner because you felt resistance, or maybe you were feeling that there wasn't much progression there. You'll notice now that if you start working on these areas, it will flow much easier. You'll feel supported. Like I was saying, you feel embraced by the universe, by the divine, because this is what you're being called to focus on in your life. So anything that you've been putting off, anything you've been putting on the back burner, whether it's dealing with some sort of childhood wounding, shadow work, addictions that you need to break free of, it could be food, it could just really be anything, behavioral patterns that you find yourself in that are slowing you down. All of this stuff needs to be taken off of the back burner and addressed now. Because after Venus comes out of retrograde, we're going to find that the energy that we currently reside in is the energy that we're going to be solidified in moving forward. So if you go in now and start working on this stuff, you'll find yourself on a new timeline after Venus comes out of retrograde. Really, it's an energy of having completely transformed your life. Or if you're still stuck in behavioral patterns or relationships that aren't serving your highest good, well, that's where you're going to stay. So now is a time to really just be focusing on yourself, get rid of all the distractions in your life so you can concentrate solely on your mental, spiritual, and physical health. This is exactly what we're getting in this reading, Taurus. This Five of Wands, yes, wow. And the way that card popped up out of the deck as well, I think that picked up on camera. But what I was going to say here, this Five of Wands at the solar plexus, this is an energy that you're essentially powerless to, right? The addictions, the behavioral patterns, things that are causing you to not be the best you can possibly be. Now's the time to go in and work on all the fine details, really fine-tune your life. And you're going to find, again, they want me to reiterate this, is that if you work on this now, once Venus comes out of retrograde, you're going to find your life completely transformed. In fact, by the end of the year, I would say in December, you'll look back on this time now, if you put in the work, and it will seem like a completely different life cycle. This is the energy that we're moving through now. It's essentially an energetic portal, Taurus. And with this Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy at the heart, this is speaking on everything I just said. This is an energy of self-love. It's an energy of healing. Putting all the love into yourself as opposed to other people. You need to be the focus right now. It's also an energy of finding yourself in a space of calm, really loving on yourself, Taurus. And Taurus, you need to understand that self-love isn't necessarily an energy of you spoiling yourself, right? You pigging out or you spending all your money on material comforts. No, those things are actually the opposite of self-love, because what they do is they dig you further and further into the hole. And that's very representative of the illusion that we live in inside the matrix. See, we're made to think that if we spoil ourselves, if we gorge on food, or if we go out and spend a bunch of money, that we're actually doing something for ourselves, that we're essentially buying some sort of happiness. This couldn't be further from the truth, Taurus. In fact, when it comes to food, it would be the absolute opposite of that. See, happiness and balance is found for a lot of people through doing things like fasting, stripping away all of these things and really getting to the core of yourself so you can actually have a good idea of what's creating drag, energetically speaking, or with your health. This is just an example, Taurus. But for somebody who, say, has food allergies, the best way to really get to the bottom of this is to maybe fast for a couple of days, see how you feel, and then slowly add things back into your diet one by one. And this can be said for individuals as well. This is something that I found very useful when I was going through my major spiritual awakening. I was cutting a lot of people out of my life, and I was starting to see tremendous growth because there was an influence that came with some of those people. These are the types of individuals who want to lay their unsolicited advice on your path, or they project some sort of negativity onto the things that you're trying to create in your life. And a lot of the time, it's really hard to see this taking place. It just has a way of burying itself on a deep subconscious layer. It's like a seed. It just implants itself. And then what you find is you have all this self-doubt coming to surface. And these things that these individuals have said to you just kind of rattle around in your mind. So I really started to go in and cut people out of my life. And for individuals that I was unsure about, I just put some time and distance between those connections to see how my life would change if they weren't in the inner workings or in my day-to-day life. And Taurus, those last couple of individuals that I held on to the longest were the biggest culprits. And I found that once I finally cut them out for good, my life shifted in a massive way. people's negative projections, people's unsolicited advice, people's opinions on what you're doing, who you're becoming, all of these things. It's all a form of stagnation. Because what I'm getting here for you, Taurus, is an energy of you feeling called to go in a certain direction, but you found resistance. You've been following this higher guidance, but your everyday waking life has something else to say about it. Pay attention to this, Taurus. And I highly encourage all of you during this time of self-love and self-care to take a big step back. Step outside of the fishbowl that is your life. Detach from as many people as possible. Create distance, and then pay attention to how you feel, your moods. If you have anxiety, is your anxiety starting to fade away? If you have depression, are you starting to feel a sense of happiness starting to trickle into your life? If you're working on projects, are you starting to feel more motivated and finding that the only encouragement you really need is the encouragement you give yourself by way of your higher guidance? Because I would go as far, Taurus, as saying that pretty much all of you are going to find growth in all of these areas of your life if you redirect all of your focus right now onto yourself. And that's not being selfish, Taurus. Because if selfish means that you're taking a time out from people, places, and things so you can focus on yourself, to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be, to be the happiest version of yourself you can possibly be, and be the most abundant version of yourself you can possibly be, then there's obviously something very wrong with how people perceive what being selfish truly is. Living a life solely in the pursuit of happiness of others is not going to bring you any personal joy, Taurus. It's going to make you feel drained and even lost. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's an act of self-love, and it's the first step that you must take. What do we have at the throat, please? Oh, wow. King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces at the throat. We have a pair. Further adding to everything we're picking up here. This King of Cups, it's a very stoic kind of energy. It's also an energy, Taurus, of you having some sort of subtle influence on others by acting in this energy that I'm picking up here. See, we can't change other people, Taurus, but we can lay out a path where maybe they can pick up some breadcrumbs. Maybe they can get some ideas on how to trigger some sort of an awakening in their own life. This is the number one way you can go about helping anybody, Taurus, is by way of influence. The universe wants to use you, Taurus, I feel, as an example of how this is done. You're being called right now to move in an energy of balance and control. Again, very stoic. I'm also feeling a very wise energy coming off of your auric field, Taurus. Very unreactive, not faltering on your path, holding this vision and this focus and this determination on allowing this shift to come into your life. All of you feel this right now. You know that there's something big coming energetically. You almost can't even explain it. You just feel it. Most of you, I feel, if not all of you, have already started to make these changes in your life. Changes that you've been wanting to bring into your life for a long time. All of a sudden, you're just doing it. You don't even know why. You're like, wow, I can't believe I was able to start this. It's all because of the astrology. I found myself doing this as well. A couple of weeks before we have retrograde starting to take place, I get this pre-shadow energy that comes through. All of a sudden, I'll be making these changes in my everyday life, things to better myself. I'm like, wow, I did it. And then I'll look at the astrology and I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why. But there's this very connective energy to realizing that you've been moving with the astrology, Taurus. You really feel a sense of belonging with the universe. The universe shifts and you shift along with it. As above, so below, macro to micro. So pay attention to the astrology, Taurus. It wouldn't hurt to maybe read up as well on how these astrological transits are affecting your life at the moment. You really learn a lot about yourself as well, Taurus, and how these different astrological seasons are definitive of how you move forward. And if you can get in alignment with these astrological movements, you'll find that you'll feel much more empowered on your path. It's almost an energy of really predicting what's going to come your way. What do we have at the third eye, please? I Keep seeing that Page of Cups facing me. Ugh. Wow. Predicting what may be coming your way is exactly right, Taurus. The Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy at the third eye. It's like you're being given access to something you didn't have before, Taurus. Some of you might be having some sort of new spiritual gifts coming online. You may be hearing a lot of frequencies, right ear, left ear, frequency tunneling. Your intuition, I feel, is becoming a lot stronger as well. And this is all the result of releasing energies from your life that don't serve your highest good. You're essentially creating energetic space inside your auric field to allow new energies to come through. Now more than ever, Taurus, if you stay very focused on your path, whether this is having to do with creative projects, things having to do with your career, anything really, you'll find that if you follow the higher guidance, these visions will become your reality on the other side of this. A lot of you have put up prayers. You've been trying to manifest things into your life, and all of this has been heard, Taurus. You need to really understand that this tower at the foundation is the result of your prayers. It's very common to find your life almost falling apart in a sense, in one sector of your life or many sectors of your life, because that's the universe actually arranging things behind the scenes to bring this change into your life. So for a lot of us, we need to cut relationships out of our life. We need to remove ourselves from spaces we're in that are holding us back. The universe is essentially trying to get us on path to these manifestations. So go with the flow right now, Taurus, okay, because this is exactly what I'm picking up here. Your visions are going to be manifesting into your waking life, but you must not get in your own way. You must not step on the universe's toes. Get out of God's way and allow the divine to work in your life. All you need to do is go with the flow and don't create resistance or stagnation or respond to any of the changes coming into your life. Just let it go and let it flow, Taurus. What do we have at the crown, please? Boom. The Empress. Taurus, that is your energy right there at the crown. And this is you on the other side of this energy, Taurus. The Empress is the picture of abundance. It's the most beautiful card in the tarot. It's all the queens in one. Male or female, genders don't matter here. But it's an energy of you planting a seed and it actually sprouting, Taurus. And this is also one of the most abundant cards in the tarot. It's an energy of creation. For some of you out there that are trying to get pregnant, this could represent that. It is an energy of fertility. But overall, Taurus, it's an energy of you birthing new things into your life. It's an energy of aspirations, of fulfilling your true will. There really is an energy on this table, Taurus, of the universe really working alongside of you, working in tandem with you. It's an energy of you creating your own universe. Meditation is going to serve you very well right now, Taurus. I would also recommend writing your manifestations in a journal. Start putting together a step-by-step process of how you're going to bring these things into your life because the energy is there to support that. Things don't just show up on your doorstep, Taurus. You actually are the magician. You're the one who does the magic. The magic is you putting those steps together to be able to accomplish pulling this energy into your life. And those steps are always going to be under the direction of your higher self. So again, meditation, listening to your intuition, this is the key right now. This is where you get your downloads. This is where you get the instruction manual on how you're to pull this off, Taurus. What do we have at the foundation from the Occult Tarot, please? The Star, Gape, Aquarius energy at the foundation. This is a shadow energy, Taurus. I read these next few cards as negative polarities. This is the energy you're leaving behind, and this can represent many different things. It can be an energy of you feeling a lack of creativity. It can be an energy that's very hopeless. It can be an energy of you lacking faith. It's just an overall energy of feeling very discouraged like you don't have the goods. But this is a byproduct of this previous cycle, whether it's with individuals, behavioral patterns, addictions, work environments, take it as it fits. This is how this energy would reach you and affect your life, is through these different situations in your waking life. See, the devil doesn't show up in demon form. The devil will show up through all of these different sectors of our life. It's a spirit. Yes, it can possess individuals in our life that essentially become these narcissistic demons that we're surrounded by, but it can also be the spirit that causes you to behave in a specific way, that influences you to self-sabotage. Obviously, there's the spirit of addiction, and this spirit can also show up in your career, the people you deal with. But at the end of the day, Taurus, all of these things are a collection of obstacles to really wake you up to who you are and to help guide you back onto your path. What do we have at the sacral, please? Ten of Cups, Furfur. So yeah, for a lot of you, this is going to be very close relationships to you. Family, romantic relationships. This Ten of Cups is an energy of loss, whether it's having to do with your family, marriages, romantic connections. It's also an energy that's too absorbed in the material world, which causes you not to focus on spirit. You see, the root chakra is all related to the material world. The crown chakra is all related to spirit. The material world is constructed in a very specific way to keep us distracted from connecting to our higher self. The devil essentially is representative of the material world. Capricorn energy, which is all about materialism. Whether it be good or whether it be bad, what I'm picking up here is an overactive root chakra, which is an energy of greed, lust for power, materialism. See, that's how the world around us is set up. We're all going about our waking life gathering materials that we don't essentially need. Yes, there is a lot of materials that we do need, but this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an overactive energy, an energy that influences you to be more focused on the material world than spirit. You see, spirit, which is on top, and the material world, which is on bottom, is also represented on the pentagram, the cross. So when you see people using the pentagram or the cross upside down, this is representing that they're putting spirit on the bottom and the material world on the top, meaning their God is the material world, the devil. That's what that actually means. You know, there's a lot of organizations that actually use the rainbow in their logo. And some of these organizations put the red on top and the purple on the bottom. Then if you start to look a little deeper into what those organizations actually represent, it makes perfect sense. But a lot of people follow these different organizations not even actually knowing what the core values of those organizations are. So I can really go on and on about that forever, Taurus, but this is you really starting to see this manifesting in your waking life. You're starting to look at things a little closer, or you need to. You know, I bought this seasoning from the store the other day, and I flipped it around, and I was looking at the ingredients and the fine print on the back, and I could have sworn, Taurus, that fine print and those ingredients look smaller than they've ever looked. I couldn't even read them. And why is that? Why is the print so small? Well, it's because they don't want us to see what's in there. And, you know, I went ahead and bought it anyway, because that didn't really dawn on me until I got home, because I was looking at it again, and I found that I was getting a flashlight, trying to see what it says. I walked outside with this to see if the sunlight would make it clear, and no, I still couldn't read it. So I decided not to consume it. It was in that moment I started to realize this was speaking on a much bigger problem in our society. Things that are hidden in plain sight that are being told to us, but they don't want us to actually see it for what it is. And this is what the Luciferian agenda is. They'll tell you what they're doing to you on the world stage, but nobody believes it. Because what it is actually creating a distraction from what the truth really is. They give you a version of the truth. And Luciferians believe if they do this, then they will somehow be able to deflect any sort of negative karma that comes their way. So pay attention to all of this, Taurus. This is becoming very, very prevalent in our current day society. It's everywhere. So be careful with what you're consuming. And I'd go as far as saying, if you can't read what's in that fine print, then don't consume it. For me, obviously, I will not be consuming the seasoning that I bought. If you need to get a flashlight and a magnifying glass to read something, Taurus, then there's obviously something up. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Too many cards. I just saw the Queen of Swords. Too many cards, which is, in this deck, it's the pathological liar. It's an energy of illusion. Lover, Zephyr, Gemini, energy at the solar plexus. Energy of imbalance. This is also representing this energy of having misaligned values with these individuals. Can also be an energy of divorce, breakups, just an overall energy of discord stacked with this Five of Wands. So very similar energies, all at the solar plexus. So this is energies that you're all powerless to. This is what you're being called to break away from right now, Taurus. And I would go as far as saying that because Venus is representative of Taurus energy, and because it's retrograding right now, that you are going to be one of the signs most affected by this energy, which means that you can bring through a tremendous shift in your life, Taurus. If you just deal with some of these uncomfortable situations right now, whatever they may be, and don't falter, just really give yourself, at the very least, Taurus, this retrograde cycle to really detoxify your life of all these energies, and then see how things look on the other side. What do we have at the heart, please? Ten of Pentacles, Barbutus, Virgo energy at the heart, blasphemy. Taurus, you need to understand that these energies that you're dealing with are godless. They're very representative of this material world that I was speaking on. And yes, we all have to live here and we all have to deal with this in some capacity in our everyday waking life. But we don't need to be a slave to the matrix, to the illusion, to the material world. These are energies that have given themselves to the material world. They're essentially soldiers of the dark. They push this Luciferian agenda, that the material world is their god. This is what this speaks about. And this Ten of Pentacles is somebody who acts like they're always sticking their neck out for you, right? That they're going to provide you with everything you need, Taurus. Taurus, I have something for that. Don't worry about it. I got your back. I'll take care of everything, right? It's a very narcissistic energy who acts like they're doing things for you. They're sticking their neck out for you. But then when you start to have growth in your life, when you start to become a potential threat to these energies, they'll start to do things on your path to stagnate you. Some of them may even come back around asking for the things back that they gave you, or making you feel like you owe them something. It's a very self-entitled energy as well. I'm picking up on siblings for some of you. Family members, even friends, people who see some sort of success you're having, and they feel like you owe them something, or what you have belongs to them. Pay attention to how people behave when you're succeeding in your life, Taurus. And then we have Kahathel, divine blessings, which is the Ace of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy at the heart. And here comes the manifestation, Taurus. A result of you having distanced yourself from these energies. You now being placed back on your path. The divine blessing you with some sort of material strength, but the material strength that you actually need to be able to function inside the reality we're in. It's just an overall energy of financial prosperity. See, when you're on path, the divine will bless you. It's not even really blessings, Taurus. We see it as blessings, but it's really just giving us what we need to function inside this energy of purpose so we can make a real world impact. It's practical in nature. It's you having what you need. Nothing more, nothing less. And you in an energy of wanting for nothing. There's this whole new path that's trying to unfold in your life, Taurus. So I highly encourage all of you to take advantage of the energies right now. Test yourself with whatever these things may be in your life that you need to overcome. The Venus retrograde cycle is 40 days and 40 nights, but I think there's about 30 days left. So why don't you go ahead and jump on board and really eradicate these energies from your life, Taurus, for that period of time. And I have no doubt, Taurus, that you'll see major growth in your life. What do we have at the throat, please? Seven of Wands, Leo energy, Re-I-L at the throat. The expected God. Liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Wow, that speaks on everything that we've been talking about in this reading, Taurus. This is an energy of you taking control over your life. It's an energy of really taking a stand for yourself, your path, your purpose, who you are not, what you came here to do, what you didn't come here to do, taking complete control, charging forward, and not allowing anybody to stagnate or delay you on your path anymore, Taurus, from this point forward. Now is the time. Spiritually speaking, Taurus, the battle has begun. What do we have at the third eye? The Emperor. Wow. Empress, Emperor, King of Cups, Queen of Cups. Aries energy, Michael, like unto God, political authority, gives safe travel and protects against conspiracies. I feel like this is speaking on this message I was getting about looking at the finer details, right? Things that are hidden in plain sight. See, people pass these things off as conspiracies, conspiracy theory, but the CIA actually coined it, the phrase conspiracy theory. So it's interesting because people use that as an excuse to try and deflect attention from these things. So protects against conspiracies. This is an energy that's coming through to help protect you from these things in your life that are really creating stagnation and delays. You know, the seasoning is just an example, a very small example, but it's significant in that it's just speaking on all things, big and small, looking at the fine details and not allowing anybody to influence your decision-making, your judgment, how you perceive things, Taurus. I feel that the divine is really trying to show you things in a very clear manner right now. So you can see what's going on, so you can make your way back to your path, okay? And this is happening in all sectors of your life, all areas, big and small, behavioral patterns, things having to do with your diet, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, your relationships with people, things having to do with your career. It's going to be showing up everywhere, Taurus. So pay attention, look for the signs and synchronicities. You are very much being guided right now. And I have a lot of ringing going on in my ears right now, Taurus, which is just, I feel this supportive energy around you. There's this heightened awareness as well. Like I feel very tapped into your energy. The energy feels like I've had like a shot of adrenaline. That's what your energy feels right now. It is the energy of charging forward, the bull charging forward. Very powerful kind of energy. And then we have the Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy to close out the reading. Hallelujah. God the good in himself. Protection. Prevents discovery of secret crimes, saves exiles. So this is just an overall energy that is saving you from these energies inside our everyday waking life, essentially rescuing you from becoming a victim to these energies. And what I was saying about all this stuff being hidden in plain sight prevents discovery of secret crimes. So this is speaking on the universe not allowing you to fall victim to these energies. So again, very supported, very protected on your path, Taurus. This is a really good energy. So I really encourage you to take advantage of this time. I believe that Venus is in retrograde until around September 3rd. So you have now until then to take full advantage of the energies surrounding you. And remember, Taurus, the changes you make now are going to affect the rest of your life. Solidifying yourself in the energies you're in by not taking action against them or taking action against them and creating a massive shift in your life. This is what you're being tasked with right now, Taurus. Taurus, this is the energy that's available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Taurus. Take care.